Welcome! I am so happy to bring you 5 patriotic DIYs under $5. Stay tuned to the end to see how they turned out. For my first DIY, I've been seeing this Jackack box. It's like a vintage or actually antique box decorated in a bunch of different silhouettes that people have been showing on Instagram and Pinterest, and I have been wanting one, so I thought, why not make my own, of course. So I found this piece of wood that is like exactly the size I needed. It's not as thick, but it is the size I need to just display something that looks like it. So I'm using this Rustic ivory, I think it's ivory tower, and it's the perfect color to use for the Jackack box. So I gave it a good coat all the way around on all edges. I found this image on Adobe Stock, and it requires you to sign up for a 30-day free trial in order to get this copy. So I have that link down below, and you can cancel at any time that you want. So I did end up downloading it and printing it out on a DeskJet printer that is color, and just trimming it out here so that I can adhere it to my piece of wood. So now I just want to take some Mod Podge and put it on the wood and then arrange the label how I want. Now I didn't put a top coat on this just because I like the color of how it was without the top coat, and it made it look authentic, like an actual label on a box that you would purchase in the store. So that's how I wanted it to look. So now that that's adhered to the wood, I wanted to test it first on the back here, as you can see, and it was a little dark, but I think it ended up being really super cute. So I'm using this distressing ink all the way around so that it looks kind of vintage and old, and I end up doing a little bit on the label too, and it just turns out so cute. I just love how it turned out. It's just that patriotic touch that you need to decorate with, and what says more about Americana than a Jackack box? It goes right along the lines with apple pie. I purchased this cute little frame at Vintage Market Days here in Utah for $5, and I already had the paper and the printer to print out this wonderful picture of President Lincoln, and it cost me nothing really for that, and it just turns out so cute. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I finally found the perfect frame to do it, and I'm so happy with it. So you just want to trim it out for where it's going to fit into the frame, and I just drew a line with some pen or a pencil, and you just want to trim that out, and if it doesn't fit, trim it down again, and it works so great. And with the coloring of this and how it looks so vintage, I just love it, and it matches that frame perfectly. So I hope you can find something similar, and I'll have the link of this free printable in my description box from CANVA, and I also created one for George Washington as well, so you can choose between the two, whichever one that you would like to use. For this next DIY, I purchased this galvanized basket at the thrift store for $1, and I thought it was adorable. And I printed out these sparkler stickers. I put it on sticker paper, and I created it on CANVA, and I'll have that link down below for a free printable for you. And I did a couple of different designs. One was with 1 sparkler and the other one was 2, and I ended up using the one with 2. So I'm just cutting these out so that they'll trim down to size. So now I'm just trimming it around to fit the basket correctly, so I'm just rounding off each end and then bringing that portion down so it fits it better and looks better on the galvanized bucket. And I forgot to mention that you can use this on those galvanized buckets that you can get at the Dollar Tree, and they work just as well. So now I have that distressing ink from Tom Holtz, and I love this stuff. And I'm just going over this sticker where it's all white looking. I want it to look distressed and look like it was an old label that has been sitting there forever. So I'm just distressing all the way around with this. You can actually kind of use a real light, well actually any distressing ink, but you can also use the antiquing wax, I think, but you have to be really careful because it's more wet, so you want to kind of dab that on. But I just love Tim Holtz, and so that's why I use this. So then you just want to peel the back of the sticker paper off and then rearrange it however you want onto your project, and I think this turned out pretty cute. And that way I can take it off if I want to change it up for a different holiday or for something different. I'm not like stuck with that particular style, so it turned out great. For my next project, I purchased these bells and these dowels at the thrift store. I paid $1.50 for them, and I think you can get like similar things at the Dollar Tree for the dowels. I didn't end up using the bells. I thought I would, but I ended up not. So I'm just using 2 of these dowels, and we're going to make some cute little flags. So I have this leftover fabric that is from a drop cloth that I've had forever. You can get them for around $10 at Harbor Freight. And so you just want to strip it like by hand, like rip it so that it has the rustic look to it. And I'm using these dowels, and I'm just measuring where I want to put them, and I'm going to glue the dowels to that fabric, and we're going to make cute little flags out of it. So then there was a couple of creases in one, so I wanted to kind of hurry and iron those out. And now that I have my flag, I have this leftover striped red and white fabric that is cotton, as well as this blue and white fabric. And I made a patriotic flag that was kind of like a dangling type thing off this, like on the side. I don't know how to describe it, but I'll have that link down below so you can also see how I created that one. So here I'm just measuring the blue portion so it looks really cute as where the stars normally go. And I measured 2 because I'm making 2 flags. So now I'm going to glue those pieces down to the left top corner where normally the stars go. And I'm going to have the lines going up and down instead of sideways. So it gives it more dimension, and you'll see later how it turns out. And so I'm just gluing those down, and I'm kind of doing them at the same time, but eventually I just end up finishing one so you can see how it turns out. So I have these strips, and so they were a little wide, so I ended up cutting them. And you want to tear the fabric so it looks more rustic, if that's your style. I mean, you can do any fabric, you can do any style you want. And I'm just here to give you an idea of maybe you have something better you could do, or you know, your own style. That's my point. I just want to be here to inspire you. So I'm just making those stripes a little bit thinner, and I end up doing 4 along the side of where that blue is. So here, after stripping down those to be a little thinner, I'm going to do them across the whole square to get those stripes, and I did 4 more down below so that it's all even. It just turns out so cute. I just want to take a minute to share my gratitude towards Emily at Farm Charm Chic, who hosts this 5 Under 5 challenge every month, and our guest host is Lavender and Lace. She is amazing, and I hope that you will go check out her channel as well as Emily's. Also, you want to go to the link down below and watch everyone's videos and subscribe to everyone's channel. Thank you, and let's get back to the video. So as you can see, I'm just finishing up those bottom stripes by gluing them down on the bottom of the flag. And I'm using that distressing ink again, and I'm just going to stain the dowel of each of these so it looks stained, and then I'm going to kind of distress the flag as well. So now remember those stars that I had previously on the other DIY? Well, I thought that cute little rustic star would look cute on the center of the blue. And so I just glued that down, and you want to be careful with the glue because it's really hot. So now I'm just using a skewer with the pointed edge to get that extra glue out of those areas without burning myself. This next DIY, I'm using this God Bless America music sheet that I had found for free online, and I'll have that link down below. You just have to right click and download, and it's a free download for you. It's super cute, and I thought of this idea after seeing one similar on Pinterest, but they didn't have the music sheet on it, and I just thought, I've been like thinking about music sheets a lot and music in general, so I thought this was perfect, and it turns out super cute. And you can change it up and do whatever you prefer, different styles. And if you do end up doing any of my DIYs or any of your own, make sure to join me on Buffy Designs with Friends on Facebook. It's my group, and you can post your DIYs and show me what you've done, because I really want to share with everyone my channel and what we can all create together and give other people inspiration and ideas of what you've done. So I hope that you will join me on there and post. So now I have this board that I've gotten at the thrift store. I paid $1 for it a long time ago and didn't know what to do with it. I marked where the paper ended with a pencil, and now I'm just going to give a good coat of Mod Podge so I can adhere that paper onto the board. Then you just want to align it to the top portion of the board as best you can and make sure it's lined up pretty straight. And then just adhere it there and press down so that it's smooth. And then I just did it on the side because I liked how that looked to kind of wrap around the wood. And I guess I should have told you what I was making. Duh. I'm making this kind of little wall pocket, and I'm just filling it with some batting and some more of that drop cloth that I had. I just ripped a piece to match the size that I needed. And I'm just covering that up with that and hot gluing it to the back of the wood. So I'm just doing each side like this on each side first, and then I'm going to wrap the bottom to kind of tuck up into the back there with the hot glue. And I hope you understand, it's going to be kind of like a wall pocket kind of thing. So I know Dollar Tree has some wood and fabric that you could possibly use for this as well. And I printed these words out, Land of the Free, and I thought that would be really cute to put on this little miniature tag here. And I think Dollar Tree also has these little tags. So this would be very inexpensive whether you got it at the thrift store or at Dollar Tree, and you could even make your own little tag out of just some cardboard. So I thought it would be cute just kind of trim around. And then this one is just regular paper, so I'm going to have to Mod Podge it on instead of the sticker paper, but it still turns out super cute. And of course there's that Tim Holtz distressing ink again. Of course on paper or wood, it's just wonderful. I love how it looks. So I'm just making sure that white paper is covered and makes it look more rustic and distressed, and just kind of going over all the little edges to make it look more like it was going to pop out. And wait till you see how this turns out. I am really proud of this piece and I hope that you will like it. So again, I'm going to use one of those little rustic stars, and I will have that link of the stars in my description box that I purchased these on Amazon, and there's quite a few in a pack, so they go a long ways. So I'm just kind of filling that star up, but I realize that it's not holding, so I need to put some on the wood there, and then it really holds down. So now I have this greenery that I've had forever, and you can even get greenery from the Dollar Tree, and you don't need much for this. And I'm just cutting off pieces of it so that I can put it into the pocket here. And the batting actually helps hold it in, and that's why I kind of did it, so it helps make it look poofed out, plus it holds it in place. So then I'm getting some of this black wire that I've had too, and you can get that at Dollar Tree too. It's like the floral wire, and I'm just putting it on this tag and wrapping that around to hold it really well. And I'm just gonna bend it and tuck it into the little pocket and give it kind of that rustic look. So then remember that red and white striped fabric that I had? Well, I've got leftover strips, and I am just taking two of the longer pieces and kind of crisscrossing them to kind of look like a bow, and I'm using that same wire to hook it on. And then I thought I would be done and just stick it in there like that, but I end up using a smaller piece to hide the wire and give it more dimension as well to make it look more like a bow. And I tied that around, and I still use those tails of that smaller piece per se, so that you can kind of see that rustic tie bow kind of look. I just thought of it and just did it. I didn't even think about it, and it just turned out amazing. So we're not done. I have some of that blue fabric left over, and I also had strips from that flag that I did last year I told you about. So I'm just putting one stripe all the way around, and it fit perfect. It was the perfect size. And I'm just hot gluing the back so it gives it more of that red, white, and blue look with the little stripe on it. And then we have a little bit more distressing, and then we're done with this piece. So now you see that I'm testing it on the back there, but I'm using that same Tim Holtz distressing ink, and I'm just going around all the edges so that it looks more worn. You know how things look worn more on the edges than anywhere. So that's what I'm going for, so it looks kind of rustic. And then I'm going around the opening of the edge of the opening so that it looks worn as well as that blue stripe. And it just turns out super cute. And you can even drill a hole at the top of the back to hang it on the wall, or use a wall hanger. Well, thank you for watching my video, and I hope that you enjoyed these DIYs. I enjoyed making them, and comment below and let me know what you think of each of them. I always enjoy doing thrift flips and some other types of crafting, as well as thrift with me type videos. So if you're new here, please consider to subscribe, and also make sure to check out that playlist link down below and go and watch all of those other creators' videos, and like and share mine as well as theirs. And I hope that you all just have a wonderful day.